Okay, boom. And we are live. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to a very special edition of Off the Record on the People's Podcast this afternoon. We have a magnificent guest with us today, one who is going to give us some amazing information as well as inspiration, and that is none other than our brother Imam Jihad Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Walaikum salam, sir.
Yes, sir. And before we get started, first of all, thank you all, everyone who was watching. We have been had like a 2 week break because I graduated from college by the grace of Allah. So I'm thankful for everyone who sent their love and positivity. I also wanted to, while we get started, we just want to send our prayers and positive energy to everyone in Boston with our brother Minister Don Muhammad. May Allah forever be pleased with him and the work that he did with the believers there. And brother Kevin Muhammad out of New York City. That was very close to home to many of us. May Allah forever be pleased with him. And shout out to all the believers from New York City and all around the world who have been impacted by both of their lives.
I mean,
okay, we want to get straight started, brother ma'am. You gave me so many great talking points to go over, but the term imam, let's start right there. What makes one an imam?
Yes, sir. You jumping out the porch quick. All praise is due to Allah. Well, first, let me seek refuge with the assistance of Allah from the rejected shaitan. The name of Allah, the beneficent, the most merciful. I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, who came to us in the person of Master Father Muhammad, to whom praise is due forever. And I thank Master Father Muhammad for making one up into himself in the person of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, the exalted Christ. And I thank the two for not leaving us comfortless, but for giving us a comforter from themselves in the person of the honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. So it is in their holy and divine names I return the greeting with the greeting words of peace of Assalamu alaikum and wa alaikum salam to you, my brother.
Yes, sir. Alaikum salam, sir.
And my condolences as well to the family of Brother Don and Minister Don and all of those, respectfully, Don Muhammad, and yes, all sir. Of those who have lost life, those we know of and those we know not of. And Imam, Brother Joshua, you was born an Imam, if rightly understood. Imam is one who leads Salat, a spiritual leader, but as a sperm, being ejaculated into the womb of your mother and leading the race and surviving the race, you are the Imam because it's quickness and a prayer that you made it, that intelligence. You know where you knew where to go and you knew what to do once you get into that triple darkness, And so Imam is one who leads Salat. He's also a spiritual advisor, spiritual leader. On Jummah, which is a day of gathering, you'll find the Imam, who is referred to as the Khatib, or the one who is teaching the masses, he's a reminder of Allah's word. And so that's basically it in a nutshell.
Yes, sir. Okay, beautiful. Now, for those who are watching and who desire to take ownership of, claiming the title Imam and want to lead Jummah and be a reminder to the believers, what advice would you give to them and us?
Well, there's a lot of people who may not understand that wherever there's two or more gathered, whoever decides to lead the other in Salah, let's say the call has been made for Jummah, our Friday prayer, and the masjid is so far off, or and it's us three. We here though, we at work, and we still away, and one may choose a topic to speak on, and we could have Jummah right there, but he would be considered the Imam for that day because he is reminding us of the words of Allah as the Holy Quran outlined, hasten earnestly to the remembrance of Allah. So when you hasten earnestly to the remembrance of Allah, you just need a reminder to remind you of what Allah has revealed to his servant. So that would be my advice, is just take charge, but the most qualified among you must be allowed to take charge.
All praise due to Allah. Yes, sir. And people are bear witness all around the world. Such as Sarah Garrett. Assalamu alaikum. Walaikum salam, ma'am. Thank you for watching and showing love. All right. Yes, sir. And I also wanted to speak about the value of prayer for those who are watching, who not just, Salat al-Jum'ah, but all of the prayers and the prayers throughout the day, the remembrance of Allah in general. What advice would you give to us about why is it so important to call on God and to stay connected, have a personal relationship with Him?
Yes, sir. Pray Allah guide my tongue on this one, because as you know, all religions have their way of devotion, the way they pray. Some raise their hands up, some keep it here, some keep it down, some keep it here. However, prayer is well respected in mostly all religions and all spiritual practices, whether they call it meditation or concentration on the God they say they serve. Allah tells us in the Holy Quran in Surah 25, Ayat 77, He says, if it was not for our prayers, He wouldn't even consider us or care for us. So think of that. If it was not for your prayer, Allah wouldn't even care for us. And the initial prayers that the Muslim was to pray was 50 prayers. Mm-hmm. So imagine that, how much Allah wanted to care for us, that He gave us 50 prayers to pray. It wasn't until Prophet Muhammad was descending from his night's journey and encountered Musa, or Moses, peace be upon him. And Moses pleaded with Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, to go back to his Lord, to shorten the prayers. It was too much for your people. I dealt with them. And he said they can't even make 5. And we're struggling to make 1. So even with that 1, you get credit. But each prayers consist of 10 blessings, which is Fajr, Zuhr, Asr, Maghrib, and Isha. And they 10 blessings, which equals the 50 initial prayers that we was to make. So all praise is due to Allah. The importance of prayer is to connect you with that God within. This is why you are instructed not to go too high in your prayers and not to go too low in your prayers, but seek a mid-course, because you have to talk to you. You got to talk to the God within. You got to hear it. I always said many of us need to pray in front of a mirror, even though the world of Islam say that is forbidden. But many of us need to stand before a mirror and pray. I'm not telling you to do it, but sometimes we got to go before that mirror and talk to that God, because that God know when you lie. Now you can talk to this invisible God that you say you can't see, and you can jibe that invisible God who you say is omnipresent, but we continue to commit sin in the presence of that God, even though we say we can't see that God. So if God was omnipresent, don't jump when you in there committing fornication, adultery, or what have you. Don't jump. You know what I'm saying? Why didn't you jump before the man walked in or the woman walked in on you? Because you really don't believe that God is omnipresent. You actually believe that God is only present in the person of the human being. So prayers is definitely is something to consider. And that which you need to make bow down, I'll just say this and fall back. That which really needs the prayer is this human anatomy. This is what you're trying to make submit. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was asked the question, Brother Josh, do you have a jinn in you? And he said, Naam, yes, but I made it Muslim. How did you do it? When I fast, I make it fast. When I pray, I make it pray. I train my eyes not to lust. I train my ears not to listen to gossip. I train my tongue not to speak profanity and do all other types of things, gossip and so forth. So everything that is above your shoulders is what you have to make submit, because this is where the rebellion come from. See? So Shaitan say he whispers into the heart of men, but the heart doesn't have an ear. But in the word heart, you get the word ear. In the word heart, you get the word hear. In the word heart, you get the word earth without dropping a letter. So he's speaking to this ear to get to the ear of the heart. But why do he whisper? That's somebody trying to conceal a secret so others won't hear it. So you may get a certain thought, that others don't know you're thinking a certain way. And by them not recognizing what you're thinking and how you're thinking it, it's another way of saying that's a jinn or a fire that blows off no smoke. Because if you see a fire that blows off no smoke, a house that's on fire and it blows off no smoke, everybody would die. It's like not giving an alarm that the house is on fire. The alarm won't even go off, you see? So I can have hatred in my heart for you, but I can conceal it with a smile, with a handshake, with a dap. And you don't know that I'm really contemplating on killing you. So Shaitan comes as a sincere friend, and he hides his emotions or his anger and his hatred for you.
Beautiful. All praise to Allah. People,
I hope that makes sense.
Oh, makes perfect sense. Makes perfect sense. Thank you, everyone who was watching. Brother Lane Q, assalamu alaikum, watching from Sonora, Mexico. Walaikum salam. Kumo Stas, my brother. 147 Savage Flint, Michigan, always showing love. Assalamu alaikum. Awesome discussion. Sister Najma. Hey, Sister Najma, alaikum salam. Thank you for watching. Brother Mary's Music Cafe. Assalamu alaikum. Original salute to BYC. Thank you very much. Peace and blessings. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, family. The great Jihad from our brother Amir Rashid. Thank you for watching, brother Amir Rashid. Thank you, everyone, for
Amir Rashid, my brother.
Yes, sir. So thank you, everyone, for tapping in. Okay, my next question for you is, sir, let's get directly into it. Last time we spoke, he said Chicago #2. Yes, sir. Last time we spoke, we dealt with Yacub. And that I mean, I didn't know. I've been doing a lot of interviews. I didn't know Yacub was such a touchy subject.
Yeah.
But what makes Yacub? What made you make the statement that Yacub is a devil? What makes a devil?
Well, I didn't make the statement. I just quoted a statement that was made by the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And when you read Message to the Black Man on page 134, and forgive me, family, I was sharing with Brother Josh, I don't have mine today, so near me, rather. But on page 134, and maybe someone in your audience can copy it and paste it or screenshot it, but he clearly states that the white man is not a child of God in that sense, naturally. But he's the child of his father, Yacub, the devil. And he put a period there, no run-on sentence, right? No comma, a period. And then when you read in the Flag of Islam on page 31, it clearly states that Yacub did not become a chief devil until he entertained the thought of making an enemy for us. So on page 31, in the Flag of Islam, that little small booklet, Flag of Islam, he clearly states to us, and I'm paraphrasing, that he was not an enemy in the beginning. It wasn't until that little word changed everything. It wasn't until he entertained the thought, the idea. He had a determined idea to make an enemy for us, and which made him the father of the devil. And as I said on the last podcast, I don't know two Jamaicans that can make a Korean baby, you see? So if he's the father of the devil, he didn't only father this devil, because you got some gangsters that have straight A students, you know what I mean, that don't grow up as gangsters. But here's an original Black man who created a system of rebellion, a system of lies and tricks, a system that he wasn't only doing scientific work. This man was actually practicing murder. And the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said in that little booklet, Flag of Islam, that he likened Yacub to Shabazz, you see, because both had showed signs of rebellion. And what Yacub did, just imagine this. Now you tell that, I wish we can ask those who was killed in the time of Yacub, was he a devil or just a saint? I wish we can ask the babies who brains was pierced by him and his soldiers, ask them, was he a devil or was he just a scientist? Ask them the little babies that was brought to their mothers, little Black babies brought to their mothers. and told, and the mother was told, your baby was an angel baby, and it was taken off to a heaven that existed nowhere. Hey, go your mystery heaven. And then he introduced Christianity, a form of Christianity, which was lies and tricks, fortune tell, all of that there. And some of the babies who did not survive the piercing of their brains were fed, they was fed to wild beasts of the field. Now think about that. Wild animals ate these little babies alive. That's the work of a scientist only? But what about the Tuskegee experiment? Was they just scientists? Was they just experimenters on a people? Or was they devils? Why do we call the white man devil?
Yes, sir.
Yacub is not a devil just because of, he's not a devil genetically because he was an original black man. He wasn't grafted. He's the father of the manufacturing system that grafted them. But he didn't stay around to see his own product. So all of this devilishment took place among the black, the brown, the red, and the yellow. So they was continuing his manufacturing system. No white man had yet come into existence. So you can't blame the white man. The white man was held back by some of the original black women. These were their children. They was taken off, hidden. But why did Musa go and try to civilize them with technology? These people had done already went away, driven away, right? And was living among the people.
Yes, sir.
Then you went and got them. And then you taught them some of the forgotten technology of their father that they wouldn't even knew about if you hadn't went over there and gave them some of the knowledge, because you knew they had to do a work and you wanted them to finish that work in order to bring out the best in us. This not saying something wrong. The most honorable Elijah Muhammad said he was a devil. And Yacub knew. He told him to work fast because my brother coming from the east, he gonna eat you up. You got to work fast now. He know what he had done, you know.
Beautiful. You teaching, brother man, and people are bear witness all around the world. Thank you, everyone who's tapped in to the People's Podcast. RNC says teach. Sister Antoinette White, Sister Malika from Baltimore. Thank you for tapping in Baltimore. Brother Ahmed X, Message of the Black Man. He's quoting you. The white race is not and never will be chosen people by God. They are the chosen people of their father Yacub, the devil. Thank you, Brother Ahmed, for putting it in the chat so everyone can see when I post a thumbnail. Was Yacub the devil? Thank you very much. Quoted from the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. All praises due to Allah. I wanted to stay right there with Musa and him having the very difficult job of civilizing a devil and teaching them technology, and then for us in 2024, in comparison to our job, going into the communities and trying to civilize our people, very much similar to him, and having to ring a fire and put a board in the back, and the same thing that he had to do back then. But now in 2024, it's times a million because of the difficulties that we face every day as a people all around the world, but specifically here in North America. Why is it so important that we understand Musa in history, and why is it so important that we take on that same responsibility?
Yes, sir. Well, Musa was a half original man and a prophet. Just like Christopher Columbus.
Yes, sir.
A half original man.
Yes, sir.
Just like Master Farrakhan Muhammad, a half original man, but a God. All of those who we think is our people, not our people. Don't go out just looking for black people. Go look for your kind. Find your kind. And you'll know who your kind is. You'll know it in your spirit, in your soul. You'll know who your kind is. There's no white man in the home of that little girl that's being molested by her wicked father, her wicked brother, her wicked grandfather. Foster children being molested violated, young boys and girls. Try to tell them, ask them who the devil is in that home. See? They said behind every no good man, no good woman, you'll find a no good man that made them that way, right? And the majority of them in the community that are single, that is no good in the community, black community, they was made no good by a no good black man who was being puppeteered by a no good white man who was made and formed by a no good black man who is their father. I don't care how we say it, how we doctor it up, it all leads back to us. And the most honorable Elijah Muhammad said, they can easily say, I didn't make myself, you made me. Right. And he said, we can make him right now today. And the most honorable Elijah Muhammad said, we don't go after the clay, we go after the potter, the one who shaped and formed the clay. You see? So you taught your children, my son, we taught them how to rule over us. And then we gave them their flag. And then we put a sword there and told them if they leak out any of the secrets, that we'll kill them. What was the secrets? Why would you give them secrets? And why would you threaten to kill them if they leak out the secrets? What was the secrets? See, you really are the secret that they haven't disclosed to their people, many of them. But they are also teaching their people the value of you, and some of them don't know why they hate you. I'll put it like this to prove what I'm saying, to substantiate what I'm saying. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said that he have white followers, but he don't bring them around you. I wonder why. Then he said there are white people who write him, who bear witness to the teachings, even accept the reality of Yacub. These white people. The most honorable Elijah Muhammad had 2 white men on the stage with him before he took leave of us. And then the most honorable Elijah Muhammad in 1973, he said, you treat people how you want to be treated. And they used to treat the most honorable Elijah Muhammad like royalty. See? But those around him, man, my God. See, they didn't have no love for the man. They was perfect actors. But I'm not here to judge them because of their presence, I'm here, you here. And their sacrifices. Allah is their judge. You know, I just thank Almighty God Allah that he prayed for his minister and spiritual son, and that he prayed for him much that he would return. And if he hadn't returned, we wouldn't be here talking and referring to each other as brothers. So going out into the community real quick, brother, I used to go out, as you know, 3 of our soldiers in BYC got shot up during a drive-by shooting, trying to deliver the word. Now here it is, they trying to uplift the community. And in the process of uplifting the community, in which I always tell them, don't go, you're not out there to preach and teach. We leave that to the minister. We leave that to the ministers of the mosque. We leave that up. We invite them to a brother you covered dinner. And then we acquaint them with the teachings and the teacher. You see? And so we not out. We got a 3-minute rule, brother. We go out there and engage our people for 3 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Because if they can sketch you, brother, they can catch you. So we stay out there for a probably 5-minute limit. When we engage in our people, we constantly moving, zigzagging, And so can't hit a target like that.
That's right.
The brothers was out there a little too long, but they went out there. The beauty of it is that was a training moment. And I'll forever salute these brothers because they was brave in standing between the gangs and the gun, because many of them came out of that lifestyle. You see, many of us come out of that lifestyle. And the beauty of it is that these brothers are not bitter, they're better. And we didn't retaliate. Allah handled everything. We can't kill our people and heal our people at the same time. But we knew that the people we was engaging was of our kind. But the people that came by and shot was not of our kind, you see? So you got to know who your kind is. Read page 102, 105 in Message to the Black Man. And maybe somebody can copy and paste that. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, there are some who look like you. There are some who even got the same complexion as you. Then he directed our attention to their character. He said, but you will know them. He said, there are some devils who look just like me and you. There are some devils who the climate have changed their color. He said, but if you look at their eyes are grayish blue. He said, if you listen to their language, they always talking filthy songs, singing filthy songs and doing filthy dances. He said, they would not leave the righteous or the original man without starting to fight. They problematic. There are real problems for the original people. Page 105, Message to the Black Man. So that's why you can't make me so pro-black and rookie dumb. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking for my kind. I'm not looking for color. I'm looking for my kind. And the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, this is why they say he done became weak. Nah, he's wise, man. This is a man of many colors, many jackets with many colors. You see? So at a certain point, Jesus had to open the door, not only for the lost sheep, but all who wish to accept and receive him. And they can study, as the Supreme Wisdom say, they can study for 35 to 50 years and be referred to as a Muslim son. We just won't kill them as fast as we kill the others that doesn't undergo this study.
Beautiful. You teaching, brother, man, and people are bear witness all around the world. Thank you very much. Please forgive me for this question and understanding. Okay, the term devil and Satan used to describe the same as the adversary of God. Thank you very much, Mr. O Universe. Mother Mary said, all praises to Allah that protected the lives of our BYC brothers who we to this day teach. Thank you all for watching. I wanted to come back to that point, sir, about color, because something I deal with pop culture, sports, music. You know, if I say I like this rapper, they say he's a devil lover. I say Steven Spielberg's the GOAT, he's a devil lover. You know what I'm saying? He loves it like that. You know what I'm saying? So I got to deal with that. But I was telling the brother, we watched the Young Thug trial together every day, text each other notes. I said, man, look who was defending Young Thug, and look who was prosecuting him. It was black women who was prosecuting him. It was black people coming, and it was his own black brothers that he took from the community and put them on private jets and all, who turned state on him.
There you go.
And then you got the white attorney defending him, saying flat, saying YSL. I said, look at this. I said, but I know we wouldn't think it's color. It's all, it's all white man race. Hey, listen, I deal with practical application. Who's defending me and who's turning on me on that stand? And then according to the scripture dealing with Jesus in his trial, and what we know that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has to go through in present time, do you think it's going to be white people turning on them, or who? How can you know who's going to be the Judas? Like, is it a color thing or not? I mean, somebody got to make it make sense to me. So,
well,
yeah.
Ask yourself this question: what does the term Judas mean? You know what it means?
No, sir.
Same as Muhammad. One worthy of praise.
Okay,
one praise much. I won't say who I asked, but I asked a top minister, man, who I love in the nation, and I brought that to his attention before, and I won't go into the reply, but I just wanted to know, was he aware that the term Judas is synonymous or the same as Muhammad? One word, it means the same. And so the reply was, I'll just say this much: if the minister is to be betrayed by a Judas, it would have to be one with the name Muhammad. Now, and when you think of that, brother, just think of this. Jesus, the biblical Jesus, he brought all of his disciples to the Last Supper. Judas was there too.
Yes, sir.
And he said, whoever dipped their hands in the bowl with mine. How loud did he utter these words that the disciples around him didn't recognize who he was talking? Now, if I say, now imagine you at the table with the minister, and the minister say, whoever dipped their wheat bread in the bowl of this bean soup, you know what I'm saying, with mine is going to betray me.
Yes, sir.
Wouldn't
Yes,
you
sir.
be looking for
That's
the
right.
one who dipped his hand in the bowl? But none of the disciples said anything. And he dipped his hand in the bowl with the master. A lot of the laborers at a certain point was trying to dip their hand in the bowl with the minister until he had to put student in front of their names. You see, a lot of them was, and I'm not their judge. I'm not really even perfect to speak on it. But as a student, as a citizen in the nation, I'm speaking as a citizen and as a servant of Allah who's following the leadership of our modern Jesus.
Yes,
So
sir.
I think as a citizen, I'm within my right to quote him and to quote him from the scriptures. Now, when you go into the supreme wisdom, it says that there was a group of them that opposed the messenger of Allah, opposed the prophet.
Yes, sir.
From receiving money. You see, Judas kissed Jesus to point him out. This is a form of accolades. I'm with Farrakhan. That's what Peter said. I'll die for you, Jesus. I'll kill for you. I'll do all this and that, just to find out later he denied Jesus 3 times before the cock crowed.
Yes, sir.
See? So the minister, a wise general, walked all of those who claimed to be with him into the community of Chicago, Illinois, where all of the killings are happening.
Yes,
So
sir.
with that much killing going on in Chicago, and we national, either we are part of the problem, you know, or refuse to solve the problem. But at this time, the murder rate was so high that the minister had to come down because he heard the cries of the mothers. And he had to walk, his father was with him through the community. This is how they recognized Peter, because he was walking with Jesus. And they said, weren't you with him? And he said, no, I don't even know that man. So how many of us have walked away from the Nation of Islam under his guidance, you know, and then we speak ill of him and all of those in the ranks, you see, you know, because we're not getting the response that he's getting. So we become disappointed and become devils. And the most honorable Elijah Muhammad said we can become hypocrites overnight. A devil is only one who pretends also. So he pretend to believe, but when he with his devils, the Quran say. He said, but when they are alone with their devils, that's what Allah used. When they are alone with their devils, they say, we are really with you. We was only jesting or playing, pretending. See? So if the minister, or when the minister, when that time comes, you know, it would be from one of us, because we so lost in color that we're going to be so pro-black and rookie dumb to the real devil when he comes, the real Judas when he shows up. And don't be surprised who it is. You see, I don't know. But if you read in scripture, Allah will give you insight on some things that if you was wise, you'll keep your mouth shut and warn your kind and be prepared. Because out of this body of believers have to rise the Ansars, the true helpers of Allah. And that's what Jesus was waiting on. Who would be my helpers?
That's right.
See, nobody is standing up. See, everybody is waiting to shoot their shot, because we have made ourselves into these self-styled leaders, like they think BYC started after I met the most honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Negative. See, but I'll stop right there. If a Judas gonna come up, brother, he's gonna come out of one of us, brother. He's already here. The minister know who he is, but the prophet know who they are. But the prophet, peace be upon him, was told that once a believer, he instructed a believer to go silent. He said, when you go silent, it exposes your enemy. But you got to be quiet. In the word silent, you can spell the same word silent, you can spell the word listen without dropping the letter. You see? So when you're silent, you can hear everything. When you're speaking, when you're not silent, you can't hear everything. And Allah can't get to you when you think you know. So sometimes, you have to be forced to sit down, as he told Mary when she was giving birth to Jesus, or Isa ibn Maryam, peace be upon him. He told her to be quiet for 3 days and don't speak to no one. See? So this Jesus this Mary, which is the mother of our understanding, is told to be quiet because she's pregnant now. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is pregnant. See? He was pregnant in the beginning, and he's still pregnant with something new that you've been craving for, but you ain't get what was old. See? And we got to pray that we hear when the new thing that he's pregnant with come about. I hope I'm making sense.
Teaching, you're making perfect sense, buddy, man. You're making perfect sense. All praises due to Allah, and people are bearing witness all around the world. Totally appreciate that. Thank you very much. That's why there's no color mentioned. Brother Amir Rashid said that's why there's no color mentioned in our lessons. It speaks on the 85, the 10, and the 5 facts. Why would my kind disrespect my registration and it's less than the holy name? Absolutely. Thank you very much, our Ansir. Totally appreciate that. And shout out to the Ansars, the helpers of Allah, and everyone who else who's watching. Brother Kente, Brother Musa, Sister Hope, Sister Auntie, Sister Miriam, and Sister Naima. We have a brief 60-second commercial break for all of the sponsors of the People's Podcast. We are grateful for every like, share, and subscription. Thank you for all the shares, the anonymous cash apps. Thank you to everyone who ever used the super chat. 1 second. We're coming right back to our brother. We got some amazing lineups coming for you all for the end of the year. May Allah continue to bless us all. And man, beautiful. And please let us know what city you all are watching from. And we are live with the People's Podcast. Street Premiere Media Production. He has a 4K camera and a drone. He does television and film editing. Please reach out if you need any of that. Sister Naima, Stay On Point Dance Academy. She teaches ballet virtually to young girls all across the country. Sister Miriam, ABC I Love Me children's book and coloring book. My father's book, A Soldier in the Movement of Christ. My 2 books, Cleopatra, which is a children's book, and No Father, No Excuse, both of which are available on Amazon. Perfect. Excellent. Thank you very much, Sister Malika. Thank you to everyone who was watching. Please let us know what city. Thank you for everyone who was tapped in. S Enterprise, Barber and Beauty Products. It is a plant-based brush company. They have an amazing wave brush. It is kosher. Kosherwave.com with the K, 770-997-6000. This is Brother Jeffrey, Sirsi Muhammad, Sister Stephanie, Lasan Muhammad. They are in Africa. Shout out to all of our youth who continue to show love to People's Podcast, 18 and under as well. And shout out to Sister Sabira Muhammad out of Chicago who watches the People's Podcast with her great parents. We truly appreciate you, and we just want to give you a special shout out. Assalamu alaikum family, walaikum salam. Brother Shaka Shakur, always showing love. Shout out to DC. Man, shout out to everybody who's watching. Okay, we got to go right back there. The betrayal 1975, what the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad had to experience. And then the minister, I want to go back to the exact quote. Like you said, the Prophet, Muhammad, peace be upon him, blessings upon him, of Allah be upon him. He had to be silent at one point. Could you let us know when he had to be silent?
Well, at a certain point, the Prophet, peace be upon him, he said to his believers, to the believers,
okay,
he taught on the purpose of being silent,
okay,
and the value of being silent, on how it exposes things, But the Prophet, at a certain point, it said, I don't say it was the Prophet. The Holy Quran said he frowned at the blind man. The Quran doesn't mention Prophet Muhammad frowning at the blind man. The Hadith goes into details about that.
Okay.
But it says he frowned. And at a certain point, Angel Gabriel did not come to him. And I'm mentioning this because the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan have said on numerous occasions that he has spoken to us to a point where his lungs is about to bust, and we still not listening. This man done poured his heart out. There's no subject that we can think of that he haven't addressed.
That's right.
None. How long must he pipe to us? How long must he speak to us? How long must he warn us? Now he's told to fall back and let the winds do the speaking. Let the earthquakes do the speaking.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He said in 2017, he said this would be the year of promise. And he said the following year would be the year. Oh man, I forgot what he called it, Brother Josh. One is the year of promise. Oh man, I can't remember. It's like a trial, but he used another term. I don't want to misquote the minister.
Yes, sir.
But this was in 2017 where we had the eclipse of the sun. And when the Mahdi reveals Satan, there will be an eclipse of the sun. There will be 2 major earthquakes. This is the prophecy of the Mahdi. And during that same year, we get 2 major earthquakes, one in Haiti and one in Chile. Then we get a tsunami that follows. Then he gives the lecture, who is the real children of Israel?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He said, now they gotta kill me or gotta come after me. Because he's exposing Satan. The most honorable Elijah Muhammad said, Satan can't bother you. He didn't say the devil. See, this man have went from the challenge of the devil to the challenging of the of Satan. You see, only a God can set down a God, brother. And the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has been, this is what we missing. The most honorable Elijah Muhammad told him to line his mind up with his. But the most honorable Elijah Muhammad only went so far. And from that point, after the 3-year mark, he was rejoined or resurrected in the mind of his spiritual son. So now the son too has been given authority. This is what we don't get. Moses and Aaron, they both was given authority.
Yes, sir.
And the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is operating from that authority that has been given to him, that by Allah, that which the most honorable Elijah Muhammad didn't make. The most honorable Elijah Muhammad is glorifying the Son as the Son glorifies him in his name.
Yes,
so
sir.
He comes in the name of the Father, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, but speak. It's a little trepidation when I speak on this because I don't want to be misunderstood. The most honorable Elijah Muhammad and the honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, they both have a work to do. He can't speak of himself as much.
Yes, sir.
This is why the FOI can't defend him with brute strength. You have to defend him from the scriptures. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan have to be defended from the scripture. Find them in the scripture. This is the only way this nation is going to stand, because the flood of lies is coming, and they're going to attack us from every angle, dealing with point number 12. And if we don't know how to defend point number 12 from the scriptures, then we will lose and we will surely fail in our duty. But he have given us so much a wealth of information. Just think about the body of information this Mother Mary has given us. See? And many think he's trying to usurp, co-opt the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. But these teachings actually belonged to him even before he was born. I hope people understand this.
Go ahead and
Jesus said, before Abraham was, I am. See? The most honorable Elijah Muhammad said, the scientists approved my love for you even before I was born. They approved the love that he had for his spiritual son even before he was born. So the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, at a young age, and I'll say this and I'll get off of it. At a young age, I believe the age of 11, in his uncle's home.
Yes, sir.
Looking in the face of Marcus Garvey.
Yes, sir.
Not knowing who this man was, he was told that this man come to save Black people. And he was drinking in his speeches, as all of us know. That story or that event that the minister mentioned never changes. Never changes. What is he trying to tell us? He wants us to get the history right. Go look at the video, The Time and What Must Be Done, part 7. Talking about the life of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Why share his life on part number 7? Why 7? But I advise each and every one of us to go and study That Time and What Must Be Done, part number 7, where he let you know that he was chosen by Allah, but he couldn't get the teachings directly from Master Father Muhammad because he walked away being second in charge. It wasn't until he was resurrected that he took the teachings wholeheartedly and wasn't moved off his square. But before then, his foundation wasn't as strong because he was moved off of his square when they followed Imam Waddin Muhammad. But the heart of the Father was being turned back to him, which represents the teachings,
yes,
and his
sir.
heart was being turned back to his Father. So what we're dealing with right now is the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad in the person of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and Master Father Muhammad. He's wearing 2 caps. He's wearing 2 caps, but he's not saying that his father is dead. No other nation of Islam, new nation or whatever, nation of Islam, believe that the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad is still physically alive, other than the nation of Islam under the leadership of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Why
Yes, sir.
so? So that the scriptures would be fulfilled. When Jesus or Isa ibn Maryam was on the cross, according to the Bible, he cried out with a loud voice, Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani. My God, why hast thou forsaken me?
Yes, sir.
But that prayer, you can find that same prayer in Psalms 22. And you'll see how long it is, and you'll see how God saved Jesus from the cross, according to Psalms 22. But why did the soldiers assume that he was calling for Elijah? No other nation of Islam is saying that he's physically alive other than the minister. So this is a stage setup. So when they get the minister, they will make mockery of him. They will make mockery and say, look, he called for Elijah. Who else would the minister call on other than Elijah Muhammad? Look, he calls for Elijah. But that's not his cry. That's our cry. That's our swan song. Not his. You see? So how many of us are crying out for the minister to show us the Father? You keep talking about he's still physical. Show us the Father. They don't believe in the will. They don't believe in the will. They don't believe he's physically alive. Many of them who close to him. And brother, many of them who have the attraction of the people. Don't you know, if I'm marveling at you and you have my attention and I'm hearing you say you don't believe in this and that, which is contrary to the teachings of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, you can, knowingly or unknowingly, you can gather unto yourself a little cult following. Because I'll start using your language against other believers. Defending that position that Honorable Elijah Muhammad is not physically alive, which is totally against the vision-like experience of the Honorable Minister. That was a real experience, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How do you know, Brother Jihad? I know that was a real experience, man. Personally, I know. I'm not getting into all, but I know, brother, that man had that vision-like experience. And it's so real. Tell me this, and I'll fall back. Have you ever had a vision, brother, to a point where you're sweating and you wake up panicking? Whoa. Brother, you didn't get that much sweat working out in the gym. Who was really doing the running? Who was doing the traveling? How were you able to paint a whole picture in your head and you can't even draw a stick man? But you was able to see everything. Who was looking at these images? Who was walking down these valleys and going into these buildings, and you was actually able to see all of this? Who was looking at this? That's the real you. Your human anatomy went in rest mode. Just like a computer, brother. It was rejuvenating. See? Even a computer shut down when it's time, when it get overheated. They tell you to unplug your phone when it's plugged up too long.
Yes, sir.
Allah says in the Holy Quran that he takes the soul by night and then he returns it.
Allahu Akbar.
Where did you take it, Allah? What did you do with the soul? Read the Quran. The Arabiya tells you that he examines the soul to see how you kept it. And then he returns it. And that's all of a sudden when it's returned, you come to. I forgot what they called it in the medical field. Your eyes are open and you can see everything around you. You're screaming, nobody can hear you. And you stuck. Like, you can't, then you relax for a minute. Then you come to. Some say, I forgot the name they call it. They say your muscles are restricted and so forth. Nah, that happened to me when I was in prison, man. See, it happened to a lot of people. A lot of people done had experiences, Brother Joshua, but they won't speak on it because people will make mockery of them and say that's spookism. Even brother, may Allah be pleased with our brother, Brother Joshua Farrakhan. Even our brother said that he was taken, right?
That's right.
He said that he was taken. You can still see me?
Yes, sir. Right here with you.
Okay. That he was taken. And he said that he can actually see his body lying in the bed. Bear me witness now.
That's right. That's what he said.
He said it on the People's Podcast.
Yes, sir.
He had many visions that he didn't really speak of. The minister said he done had multiple visions that he done watched the messenger right outside his window. He said, right. I'll be your son. He said like he didn't even hear him. He said there's a lot of visions he have had, but he don't share them with us. Why? And there's many that's on this line right now that done witness the so-called UFOs, done witness these phenomena, brother, but they don't speak on it because they don't want to be talked about and looked at as, he trying to make himself something that he's not. So we be quiet when that is a bearing of witness of what your minister is teaching. That's how you substantiate what he's teaching and confirm his vision-like experience from your experience. Now, to show you, the minister at one point did not have a vision. He just didn't have one. Everybody around him was having a vision of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, Master Father Muhammad, and he got to a point where he was getting mad. He was second in charge, and he didn't have no vision.
That's right.
But when he had that vision-like experience, and then after that, he was able to see these planes that follows him, directing him. And he called for his son-in-law, the chief of staff, Brother Leonard, who he got to touch it, he got to smell it, and he got to see it for himself.
That's right. And
when he bear witness to it, that says a lot. And a lot of people around the minister, and you had a brother on here, I forgot his name, I can't call his name, I think he was with the E-team, but he bear witness.
Yes, sir, with our events.
There you go. So them the kind of people that we have to get connected with. We got brother Ilya Rashad. These are types of people that we have to really tune in on, because there's a will that's out there with weapons of mass destruction. Could be for all of us if we're not careful. Sorry for being long-winded.
That's how you teaching, very man, and people will bear witness. And on behalf of myself, my family, and the viewing audience of the People's Podcast, we thank Allah for your testimony, your sacrifices, and your transparency, brother man. You're doing a great job. Thank you very much, everybody who was watching. Okay, all right. Okay, people in the comments are going at it. Thank you very much. Right. Um, people are saying you cooking up an epic end of grace Christmas dinner. Oh, West Coast Cam, the rapper. Hey, shout out to Cam, bro, for representing, always tapping in.
Oh, brother
Watts about,
Cam.
yes, sir. Always holding it down. But Cam, I watch your podcast as well. Shout out to you as well. Walaikum salam, this is Naima. Um, all right. And then people are arguing in the comments. Okay, we'll let the argument and all that. I stay out of that. We'll come back to that kind of stuff later. But yes, sir. You teaching. Okay, right, man. You gave me so many talking points. I wanted to come back right there dealing with the oh, that's what it was. The Christian prayer. Now lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. Dealing with the soul. Many of our people, because of social media, some of when you first get, it's like a hotel, you get some new information, grand rising. So we begin to mock knowledge. So if somebody say they spiritual, if I meet a sister and she be like, I deal with soul, and you know what I'm saying? We so much information we can now we don't even want to tap into our own beings because we've made mockery of knowledge. You know what I'm saying? I see it myself. Everybody, people who make jokes about some serious stuff, and we're spiritual people, and we have a soul, and I try to keep my soul clean, and I try to encourage us all to be careful of what we mock because there are some spiritual. The side of TikTok that I'm on, my God, people of all races who have stories, and they tell you, a nurse, I want to interview her. She's very shy, but she works in hospice, and she deals with how people towards the end they see a real tunnel. They really see angels. They really see this, and she says it happens all the time. And she's like, we it's very souls are real, spirits are real. I don't want to get too deep with that, but yes, sir. So I can definitely see how vision like experience could mean that. And I wanted to ask you, how are you so connected to the communities, but the other, the streets, but also the other community, but still speak so highly of Master Farah Muhammad? How does that tie? How do you work that in? You leading Salat, leading the prayers, you're in the hood, you're another, but you keep uplifting the name of the one who came 9,000 miles to seek and to save us who were lost, and you keep uplifting his name. How are you able to do that?
I keep my eyes on the minister. I see how he interact with the world of Islam.
Mm.
He don't compromise. You can't go to them with arrogance. I wasn't born in the Nation of Islam, and the Nation of Islam wasn't the first branch of Islam that I had my experience with. I was Muslim. I was given the Shahada in the Florida State Prison, wherein I did 10 years in the Florida State Prison. I did 3 of those years in solitary confinement. When I came into the knowledge of Islam, I was given my Shahada by a brother from an Arab from Kuwait, Arabia, named Wa'il al-Khoni. Beautiful brother. I never seen a brother pray how this brother prayed. I've never seen a person pray, and every time this brother prayed, he cried. Every time. And it wasn't, for show. This brother was a serious brother from Arabia who taught me how to pray. I used to get on one knee. I never could get on 2 knees for some reason. And that's because I too, anybody who see this will know I was one of those dudes in the Florida State Prison. I was a shot caller in prison, in the Florida State Prison. When there was when the line was pushed, I was front line.
Yes, sir.
And this pre-Islam now. I had a homeboy who came to that same prison. I had got transferred to that prison from a riot. I've been to 14 different prisons in Florida. And I always tried to get in the riot because I know I had mandatory sentence. So anybody who ever been to the joint, they know that it's going to take you at least 2 years or better to get settled in. So if I keep going to different prisons, by the time I'm finished, because they got more prisons than universities. So by the time I'm, finished going to different prison to prison, camp to camp, meeting new people and so forth, meeting old homies I hadn't seen in a while. I've been finished my time by that time, you know?
Okay.
So, but they stopped that. They had a trick for that. They came out with CM, closed management. So if you get in a serious riot or anything, they can lock you up in solitary confinement up to forever, really. But the minimum is 3 years. That's CM3. Then you got CM2, then you got CM1. And so I was on CM3, which was a minimum of 3 years in solitary confinement. And while in this prison, Holmes Correctional, my homeboy came there. He wanted to be Muslim, not me. And when he got there, and I shared this before, when he got there, I didn't know where to lead him or who to lead him to, you know, but this is my homie from the streets. And he said, damn, boy, you been up here this long? I said, yeah. And so he wanted to be Muslim. I took him, well, somebody directed us to the dorm where the imam was. He was assistant imam, the outer. And he came out talking to my homie. And another homie of mine came up and got his attention away from this assistant imam. And he told us, he said, man, hold up, can you talk to my homeboy for a minute? I'll be right back. And he never came back. Now I'm standing here talking to this outer, you know, I don't want religion, man. I'm thugging and loving it. But for some reason, on a like a track. And this man was talking to me with such passion. Because all of us really want a little hug in some form of fashion, man.
Yes, sir.
And I'm banging out in there, man, you know, wilding out. And this man coming to me with a total different prison than the chain gang. And he started talking about God. And he told me to go to my dorm, brother, and take a full ghusl. I said, what's that? He said, a shower. He said, and after that, get by your bed, get on your knees and just pray in the manner you know how. And I'll teach you how to pray later. So I took that shower. I don't know why I was doing it. I went and took a shower real quick, went by my bunk. I took out the Florida Sentinel, which is a popular newspaper in Tampa, and I put it on my bed. I got on one knee as if I was reading the paper like this. But I'm praying, and I'm calling on the name of Jesus. And I don't know nothing about Allah, Muhammad, or nothing like that. So I'm acting like I'm reading the paper, but I'm praying on one knee. And I just started crying for some reason. I got moved. Now, all of my other homeboys up under the gazebo, they about to push it with another region. You know, see, in Florida, back then, it was down south was with down south. Central Florida was with Central Florida. The Panhandle was with the Panhandle from Jacksonville, Tallahassee, Pensacola. They was together. Central Florida, Orlando, Tampa, St. Pete, all us together. Down south, Miami, Lauderdale, all them together. You know, so we about to push it with the South, Lauderdale, Miami, and so forth. They up under the gazebo. They got their knives ready. They about to push the line. I already knew this was brewing anyway. So when I came out the dorm, I'm trying to find this Arab who told me to go do all this. I don't know what just happened, but something happened. And so I'm walking the compound, and my homeboys, you know, my nickname Jit. They're like, Jit, you know, like, you know, we about to push it, you know. I'm going to find this brother because I don't know what just happened. Man, I ain't get on my knees in prison or cried and woo, woo, woo. Man, I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to go find this man. So I bypassed my homies. I went on the rec yard. I found the Arab. And I said, hey, what's next? I did it. What's next? And he started laughing. And he put his arms around me and walked me to the yard. When we got to the yard, he introduced me to the other Muslims. And I met the imam there, Brother Atkins. And when I was talking to him, they was doing their little prayers. I seen them hugging each other 3 times. I'm like, man, they hugging each other in prison. So I never seen this type of brotherhood. And so long truth short, we hear, you know, the gunshots and everything, the riot going down. So I attempted, you know, and the brother said, nah, as a Muslim, you know, he started giving me the Muslim talk and this and that. But it's like I got one foot here and pivoting towards there to go help the homies, you know what I mean? But it was crazy, man. I didn't get involved in that. Something else kicked off that I did get involved with, because you can't serve two gods. You got loyalty to the God that I didn't know. Then I got a loyalty to the set, to the homies. You know what I'm saying? So I had to push that line because I really don't know y'all like that. You know what I'm saying? So I pushed that line and ended up at another prison. And when I went to that prison, that's when my Islam started growing. And my fight then became a fight for Islam, getting kufis and prayer rugs and dikkah beads and fighting for Ramadan, that we don't eat pork and, substitute it with peanut butter and jelly, so whatever. Mind you, this pre-Nation of Islam. I'm not in the nation. So we eat peanut butter and jelly and all of that, right? Instead of pork. So how am I able to go among that community? Because I was never taught denominations. I didn't know that. I wasn't trained like that. The Nation of Islam, the FOI raised me, but they didn't say that they was Fruit of Islam because they was outnumbered in the penitentiary. You'll find that in most prisons. In Florida, they are outnumbered in the state penitentiary. So they come under the disguise of Sunni Muslims, So these brothers raised me. So all my militancy and everything in Islam came from them. I didn't know that drilling. I thought drilling and all that was a part of Islam. But this came from these brothers, old school brothers, pulling me to the side, training me apart from the outer. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Feeding me in their own way. So I get out of prison. I go to the masjid, Istaba. I sit in the circle of Arabs and Africans and so forth. At this point, I'm building a relationship with these brothers and sisters during this month of Ramadan. So I know a lot of people from the world of Islam, a lot of people from the Imam Jihad Muhammad's community. I know a lot of people, I got a lot of close relationship with a lot of them. But when I came into the knowledge of the nation, I stood on it because it confirmed a lot of stuff that I was reading over here. And one of my understudies was the Mahdi. So I had to compare Mahdi. Somebody saying they the Mahdi, I got to hold up. I've been studying this for a while, and everything added up. So the minister was told by the messenger at the time to find a way to close that gap. So when you hear me talking to them, I don't have to say Master Father Muhammad. I just use Surah 55, ayat 26 and 27, where it says everything in existence will die except the person of Allah. So I just zoom in on the person of Allah, and I use that passage to justify Allah coming in the person of a man, Master Father Muhammad, but not limited to.
You teaching. Okay, great. And so many people will have these comments, but I want it to be known on the record that I respect you and salute you, and I'm in awe of your ability to articulate the word of Allah, but especially how you expound on the teachings of Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad as taught by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. You do a great job, and I love that you still are in the community with the soldiers. That means a lot to me and others, but I just want to let you know that means a lot to me. Okay, here we go. Okay, this person got to go. 1 second. People arguing in the comments. I can't, what I'm saying? Can't have that.
They ain't cussing me out, is it, Brother Josh?
I don't know what's going on in the comments right now, but yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't know.
They be saying I'm pseudo on the teachings.
No, it's just some people. If I use the term you and Yacub, it bring out a different group of people. I don't know. This is a people podcast.
Let me make this clear. I'm not saying Yacub is a devil genetically. He's not a devil genetically, according to if we're going to go by the supreme wisdom, because supreme wisdom say any live germ that is grafted, from original is considered devil. So we know he was original. So in that sense, he's not a devil, but that which he taught was devil. That which he taught was satanic. That which he taught, read Flag of Islam, page 31. He was not an enemy of ours until he entertained a determined idea. And that idea consists of murder. That idea consists of lies and tricks. So if you can forgive Yacub, then stop talking about the white man that's treating you bad. You know what I'm saying? Then his product can't be bad. Don't refer to his product as being bad. Just say he is a product of an experiment. You know what I mean? So don't get mad at what you made and shaped. You know? So that's how I see it, Brother Josh.
Now you teaching, it's just the people, they arguing amongst themselves. I don't know what's going on in the comments. They'll be okay. Now I'm not here for it. Okay, so
right, let's roll. Let's roll.
It's the answer that White says all praise to Allah. Salam, Arkansas in the building. Thank you for tapping in, Arkansas. Shout out to the Razorbacks. Brother Audio Nasur, great information and inspiration. Shout out to from B More Muhammad Mosque number 6. Walaikum salam. Thank you, Brother Audio Nasur. I'm proud of you, big brother, Sister Najma. Thank you very much. And man, people just showing you nothing but love. I wanted to ask you, just to say as well, the some of the words that the minister said to you, sir.
Well, I only can go by what he said to me.
Yes, sir.
I don't speak on it as much, but I say when the minister came to Tampa in 2010, in which me and you was on his door securing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And that was in October 17th, 2010. And I won't go into my trials before then, but Allah is the all-I-seeing God. And he know what I had been through up until that point. How I ended up on the minister's door, securing his door right outside of his door, listening to that beautiful jazz music, instrumentals being played.
Yes, sir.
And his cooks right in front of me to the right, smelling that food that they was cooking.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mouth watering. Brother Josh was on the other end. And I was right there when the minister came through the door from the elevator at Flag. And Brother Rasul was coming up. And this is the first time I'm mentioning this. I never mentioned this. But Brother Rasul was coming up. And remember, we was given instructions on who can come through that door.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And so I seen Brother Rasul. He came through. He said, I was just going in here to talk to the minister. I don't know if I should mention it, but like I say, Allah is the all-I-seeing God. And he didn't go and tell the minister something that the minister didn't already know. I'll put it like that. And but after that, we was on the stage in which you was also there, and the minister called me out front. I like to say us, BYC.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And when he called us out front, even though you may have seen me on the stage, and he said, I thank the BYC young brothers. Come out here, son. Brother Jihad. He hugged me and he said, I love you, man. He said, these are soldiers. They're not in the mosque. You don't have to be in no mosque to be a soldier. You just got to have it in your heart. And he hit his chest like that.
Yes, sir.
And he said, I thank Allah for you. He said, I love you, man. I thank Allah for you. I want you to come have dinner with me tonight. And I went to go have dinner with our leader, and I was being blocked for some reason, to a point where Brother Rashad from the E-team came and got me from the door because he seen the commotion. And he asked, what's going on? It's a lot of moving back here, you know? And so when we got in, we sat way back from the stage because Shaka Khan, all of them was there.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Fresh. And so there was no table. They went and prepared a table, brought out a fresh batch of food, you know, because I thought we had to pay for it. And she said, no, everything is free. And so they prepared a table in the midst of my enemies.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And all praise due to Allah. The minister Brother Rashad came down from the E-team, and he whispered in my ear that the minister wanted to see me before he go up. But I was to go with the minister. I don't know, to his room or in the hallway where we met. But long truth short, he said you got the soldiers with you. Let me see if he'll meet you and the soldiers. So he met all of us. We in the hallway, and the minister said, when the door opened, Brother Mustafa said, "There go my brother," and the minister said, "Come here, son," and he hugged me, and then he said, pointed in my chest. He said, "You are a natural leader." And he told me that Allah loved me, His exalted Christ loved me, and He definitely loved me. And he said some other things I believe was for me. And because I don't want to make the bullseye even bigger on my back. But whenever Allah touches you through His servants, you can't get arrogant, because He's pulling His enemies out as well, because whoever attacked you is His enemy. Why would they attack you and He touch you? If He say He love you, His exalted Christ love you, and He definitely love you, then why would they have something in their heart for you? Like I seen you on a picture, on several pictures with the minister. Why would they hate that? You know what I'm saying? What would make them attack you unless they got a problem with the God that's embracing you? So I just say that not to, I just say that just to say this, and I'll fall back. The minister told me if I'm ever in the city of Chicago, Illinois, I'm to make my presence known. You see? Then he did something that was so strange. And he asked me to see a picture of a relative of mine. I'm going to put it like that. Well, I showed him a picture of a relative of mine. And he said to Brother Mustafa, "Who this look like?" And he said, "I look like the messenger, Dad." And he said, "Where is he?" And I told him he had a stroke too, from Sandersville, Georgia. And he told me that he was gonna be all right. Don't worry about it. 3 months after that, that individual was traveling to Tampa by himself in a van by himself after having 2 strokes. And right now today, Brother Ahmad and Brother Terrell accompanied me. He's doing good, And so I won't go into much into that. But I just say practically all of my family is from Sandersville, Georgia, in a little town right outside. It's nearby, you know what I mean? But we just say Sandersville to cover the whole terrain.
Yes, sir.
And so yes, we definitely are related. Yeah. Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad is my biological cousin.
That's excellent. Excellent, man. You give us a great history, Brother Imam. And I wanted to go, that's a beautiful story. Shout out to me and you holding posts together. That's always great to remember. You always standing on business, sir. But I wanted to thank Brother Rashad. I love to hear stories where somebody's bearing witness to his kindness and his goodness. He traveled all the way from Chicago this past weekend to come to my graduation, and he surprised me because I invited him. I didn't know. I was like, Rashad, you know what I'm saying?
That's who picked me up from the airport every time I go to Chicago.
See what I'm saying?
He may have an attitude if I don't call him.
Well, Rashad is a genuine soldier.
No strings attached.
Man, and he just so much more than security. So much more. I don't want to make the target big on his back. You know what I'm saying? With all the hate that he received. But we love you, Brother Rashad, and we love you, Brother Imam, and his family. That's Sister Eric and the children.
That's right.
Everyone who was watching as well. Okay, back in the comments, people bear witness. People saying drop the link. Okay. Oh, somebody, why you delete? Because he asked a question about Prophet Muhammad. Oh, somebody wants. What's your social media? So this person wants, if anybody wants to debate, brother Imam Jihad, where can they find you at? Because it's not, brother. It's not. We good. We'll let you converse with our brother. Where can they find you on social media so people can reach out to you?
Jihad Amos Muhammad on Facebook. I got a Instagram, but I don't know how to work it. I think I'm gonna graduate on Facebook.
Okay, yes, sir. All right. And Devaris Johnson says ASA, Brother High Enough Fellowship amaze me. West Coast Camp says intellectual maturity, and people are just continue to show love in the People's Podcast. I want to thank you all very much. Thank our guests. It means so much to me. Coming up next, we got another Imam, Brother Imam Edward out of DC. Very similar background, similar training to the story. A brother who served a lot of years in penitentiary, accepted Islam, and I look forward to hearing from him. We ended out strong this season of the People's Podcast, and once again, I want to say, may Allah be pleased with Minister Don out of Boston and
Yes,
Brother
yes.
Kevin out of New York. May Allah be pleased. Both of that hit me hard yesterday. Both of those the same day. The news. I just try to stay uplifted and hopefully everybody's spirit stay high. And no matter what trial we go through, Allah is with us. So that's always man. Let's try to stay positive, lean on the believers in the word of Allah. So that means a lot to me. Shout out to all the tributes I see on social media. Man, it's beautiful. All right. This is Joshua Leonard Muhammad signing off for the People's Podcast. We love you, brother Imam. Thank you very much, brother. And your family, we salute your family, salute you as well. And salute the soldiers of the BYC. I look forward to seeing you all soon, inshallah.
Yes, sir. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam, sir. Alaikum salam, brother Imam. Thank you all for watching. Thank you very much.